And you know, I Steppin with Marcus J. Thank you, everybody, for staying with us as we got through the agenda for tonight. As we do every single week at this time, we get through our rants, we get through our closings, and as we do every single week, we start with our special guest. And Tony, do you have any closings? We lost our sister Tetra for tonight, so if you want to close out by giving some thank yous to her and whatever you have for yourself, go ahead. What you got?
I just want to say, of course, it was great being here with you guys. Had a good time. Thanks to Tedra for coming on and joining us for the first time. And I guess I'm not gonna. Well, I'll probably see you guys before the beginning of the year. But I hope everyone has a happy and safe holiday, whatever you celebrate. Just enjoy, be safe, and yeah, have fun. Love one another.
Have fun.
Yes.
Have fun.
Is that a
You
song?
got it. And you know how Steppin with Marcus J. That's why your time to close us out, sister. What you got?
Well, thank you for our guest, Tezra. She was fun. She was fun. So we hope to see her back again soon. And of course, Miss Tony, thank you. And you will see. Okay, that was not a cute face she just made. But we do hope to see you before Christmas. Ow, Marcus hit me.
That's because you got to speak into the mic, man.
Oh, I always speak into the mic.
Oh, gosh. I'm not touching that. So not touching that.
But again, thank you for our listeners. Don't touch that. Thank you to our listeners. Why are you choking? You got a kiss with saliva. Anyway, yep, just thank you. Hey, and Marcus, can I let them know to just make sure that they're listening to us on the 23rd?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Go for it. Go for
Have
it.
some friends listening. Do not miss the show for Monday, the 23rd.
2 weeks from today.
Ain't no half stepping. Marcus J. 7 p.m. to oh my. I
Listen
don't
next week.
know.
Listen next week too. But on the 23rd, we got some special
The
stuff.
23rd, we are gonna have so much fun. You don't want to miss this. And I want to say something. Make sure that you are paying attention to the show. Make sure that you have been paying attention to the show, because I have a nice surprise for somebody who does.
You know how Steppin with Marcus J. Thank you so much, SY and Tony. And of course, it's time for us to move through our rants and our closings. And my brother, Big Rube, is ready to get into his segment that we like to call the Smash. Big Rube, it's time for you to smash, my brother. What you got?
Big Roo, smash. You know, got a couple things on my mind today, in no important order. First of all, I'd like to say that fantasy football is done with for me this season. I'm officially out of the playoffs. I'm done. That's sad. And I have to decide if I want to watch the next couple weeks of football. Actually, months. But I probably will. Big ups to Meredith Baxter. She wedded her longtime partner this weekend. She's 66, still getting married. Big up to that. Sad news to the teacher who was gay. Well, excuse me, he is gay. And I guess he came out, and so the school fired him. Well, that sucks. Hopefully that won't go ignored and you'll get your job back. I don't know if I really care enough about Brett Favre to really talk about him. But you know, the dude's an offensive coordinator and won a little state title this past weekend. I guess big ups to Brett Favre. He won one Super Bowl and one high school state title. I guess that makes his career. Go ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame. You know, I feel like that this time of year, a lot of people get happy over the wrong things. You know, gifts and food and stuff like that. What people really need to get happy for is family. You know, there is sometimes where you don't get this. Some people don't get to spend time with their family like they want to. You know, I am happy in this Christmas for the second year in a row I'll get to spend time with my whole family, my whole immediate family, with a new addition. My youngest brother had a daughter a couple weeks ago. His wife had a daughter. So when we do the new family portrait, we'll have a new addition, and that's cool. But for those people who neglect their family, my advice to you is, what the hell is wrong with you? Because, yeah, I understand. You know, we got the stupid elf thing that's going around, which, not a fan. You know, everybody has their own little things going around. Kids love Christmas, but when you're old and single, Christmas really isn't a favorite holiday because all it does is remind you that you're old and single, and no kids, by the way, no kids. So, you know, the nephews and nieces are the ones who will get all my money this Christmas. You know, my parents will get a little something, and my brothers probably get a little something, but ultimately my nieces and nephews get all my money. Not that it wouldn't go somewhere else if I had kids, because it would just go to the kids. But more importantly, it's the fact that people just need to do whatever they need to do to spend time with your family. You know, it's interesting. I'm 40, you know, and I'm the middle kid syndrome. So, you know, family's kind of important to me. My oldest brother's a couple years older than me. My youngest brother's younger than me, but he's over 30. So it's like, you know, we're getting kind of old, and you know, now they got kids, and I get to be an uncle to 6 kids. Whew. An uncle to 6 kids. Whew. That's tough. I need to have a kid so somebody can be an uncle to my kid. But what's all important, last year we were talking how, this is the last year we'll be able to spend Christmas together as a family. But you know what? Lo and behold, we'll get to do it again with a new addition. So it's good. Gifts and stuff to me are cool. It doesn't mean everything. What means the most to me is spending time with the family. You know, there's some people who talk to their parents every day, at the same time, and that's cool. I'm not one of those people. I check in when I need to. You know, I call, see what's going on. They call me. Life is beautiful. So for me, Christmas and Thanksgiving and holidays like that mean a little bit more, because I get to spend time with the people I don't get to spend time with a lot. So if there's anything that you take from any smash from the whole year, spend time with your family, because you never know when you'll be able to spend time with them again. And all blessings and prayers go to Paul Walker's family, who now have to deal with the fact that they're not going to have Paul at their Christmas. And that's sad. So, people, spend time with your family, especially at Christmas. It's Big Rube. It's a smash. I'm out.
Appreciate it, Big Rube. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the whole crew for being part of the show. Just want to kind of get through the thank yous. Special thanks to Said. What up, bro? Thank you to Joy, Michelle. Thank you to Hakeem, everybody that was listening. Special thank you to all the true fighters that were listening to us tonight. Y'all know who y'all are. We had a special guest tweeting us. Steel Neal was tweeting us. Special thanks to you. I had a lot of people listening to us all across the country, and so I want to thank the listeners in Georgia. I want to thank the listeners back home in New Jersey. I want to thank Neil ZZYZX for listening to us. That's a person that was listening to us through social media. So had a lot of people that was with us tonight, and I want to thank everybody. Real quick, go through the Legacy Internet Radio format for the whole week. You know, I have Steppin with Marcus J from 7 to 9:30 here on Mondays. Tuesday in Lyman Radio with Steven Sykes, Mr. LP, along with Mr. Sincere, Miss Brandy on Tuesday 7 to 9. The Greenwood version 2.0 with Jay Grizzly and Lissa P, 7 to 9 on Wednesdays. Iron Horse Radio debuted last week to strong ratings, 7 to 9 right here on Thursdays. On Friday nights, We got Bob Marley and the Family Music Mix, reggae music from around 5:36 going till about 7 o'clock every Friday night. Did They Just Play That? The music only show where you might just hear any song that I just feel like playing from 7 to 9:30 every Friday night. On Saturdays during the day, midday, we're playing Did They Just Play That again. For the month of December, we're playing holiday music from 4:30 until about 7. So you want to hear Silent Night and This Christmas and all of that kind of stuff, that's where you're going to hear it. And then the show that we all love to listen to, Get Your Baby Powder Ready and Move Your Furniture, for DJ Renee Melendez with Deep House Sessions with DJ Renee Melendez on Saturdays from 7 to 9. So we got a 6-day-a-week format here, Legacy Internet Radio. We appreciate all the love and support. So at this time, it's time for me to get through my rant, and it's time for me to get through my closing. And normally I end my rant by saying that it had nothing to do with what we talked about tonight, but tonight I can't do that because what I'm talking about has everything to do with what we talked about tonight. And so when I think about folks my age, we never saw Malcolm X. We only heard about him. We never saw Marcus Garvey. We only heard about him. And we never saw Martin Luther King Jr. We only heard about him too. But Nelson Mandela, we saw him. And I'm a better man because of the example of dignity and grace and perseverance and defiance that he showed. I'm humbled to have shared the earth with this man and to bear witness to his quiet confidence. You ever notice how the media coverage of this great man has been traded in the last few days, last few years? As a quiet man, a soft-spoken man, a grandfatherly man, an old man. Sure, that was Nelson Mandela today, but that's not the Nelson Mandela that I studied and I learned to revere. This was a man of purpose, and this was a man of fire. As a lawyer, Nelson Mandela was a strong proponent against the South African system of apartheid that led to the slaughter and incarceration of many black South Africans. Charismatic and a strong leader, Nelson Mandela led his people to revolt against a system of racism, inequality, and murder. And for his efforts, he was incarcerated and branded a traitor, a demagogue, and a race baiter. Yes, they branded him a race baiter in a country where the minority white seized power and subjected the majority blacks to incredibly cruel laws and regulations. A small minority here in the United States of America viewed his efforts as treasonous and voted against even allowing him into our country, even keeping him on the terrorist watch list up until 2008, when then President George W. Bush signed a bill to have him removed from that list. And although initially committed to nonviolent protests, Nelson Mandela co-founded the militant Umkhonto Sizwe organization in 1961 in association with the South African Communist Party, leading a sabotage campaign against the apartheid government. In 1962, of course, he was arrested and convicted of conspiracy to overthrow the state and sentenced to life imprisonment in the Rivonia trial. It was during this time on the small island prison that he continued his education, continuing his dignified stance of defiance and becoming a symbol of anti-racism and anti-apartheid all over the world. I was 15 years old in February of 1990 when Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years. I had never heard of him before, and his release was met with indifference from me. But it was his June visit of the same year to New York City that awakened my consciousness. And I remember Moms and Pops J waking little sis J and me up to watch the press conference on television. I also remember journeying to Liberty State Park in Jersey City, which is my hometown, for the first rally that I had ever gone to. And I remember getting a Nelson Mandela t-shirt. I love that t-shirt. But moreover, I love what it represented, because by then, just a mere 4 months later, after the first time I'd heard the name, Nelson Mandela had gone from some old guy in Africa to a premier civil rights leader in the world, in my eyes. And when he was elected the first black president of his home country of South Africa in 1994, I had as much pride as I would have 14 years later in 2008 when President Barack Hussein Obama was elected the first black president of these United States of America. Every year during Black History Month, when Mama J and I study the great giants of our history, Nelson Mandela is one of the first we discuss at length. And I'm proud to know that as a 10-year-old, she's far more conscious than I was at that same age. Nelson Mandela was a lot of things to a lot of people, but to me, he was a uniter. He was a man of principle, unbroken by unspeakable injustice during a time where many men would break. He grew stronger and less indignant, showing forgiveness in ways many of us would never even imagine. Many will eulogize this great man in the next few days and weeks and forever. I just hope the strength of this man is properly placed in the perspective it deserves. Folks my age, we never saw Malcolm X. We only heard about him. We never saw Marcus Garvey. We only heard about him. And we never saw Martin Luther King. We only heard about him. But once again, Nelson Mandela, he was the world's version of an older, more mature Martin Luther King. For those who wonder what MLK might have been like had he lived to maturity, I suggest we only look to Nelson Mandela, who was and is one of the greatest humans to ever live. I saw him walk, and I saw him talk, and I saw him speak. And I'm a better man because of the example of dignity and grace and perseverance and defiance he showed. And I am humbled to have shared the earth with this man and to bear witness to his quiet confidence. Nelson Mandela, you have received your gift of eternal rest, my brother. You earned it. That's the Murr, Marcus's unrelated rant that has everything tonight to do what we've been in here talking about tonight. It's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for being a part of it. I also want to remind everybody that independence is key to building your legacy. I also want to say peace to all the stars and all the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. Ain't no how stepping with Marcus J. Be back here next week. Peace.